The COVID-19 pandemic exposed weaknesses in the Canadian healthcare system, some of which have been around for a long time. Like here in Northern Ontario, access to life-saving dialysis treatment. People often have to drive for hours or uproot their families and move to get access to care.
Please get us home to our own community for treatment.
I know, I went into shock.
It's brutal. It's really brutal.
It carries a heavy emotional and financial burden, and I've met some families affected by it, and they shared their stories about care away from home.
Good morning, April.
Wayne Cullingham and his wife Carol are still getting used to their new reality.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah, we're hanging in there.
With end-stage kidney disease, Wayne was just put on dialysis.
I'm so upset.
But to get this life-saving treatment, they had to move 500 kilometers away from home and their family.
When your dad came home that day and said, we have to move, but I miss my children. I miss my grandkids.
Wayne and Carol are from Kenora, a small city of 15,000 people in northwestern Ontario. For more than 20 years, Wayne's known the day would come that his kidneys would completely fail and he would need to go on dialysis. But he always thought it would be closer to home. Why is it that you have to be in Thunder Bay for that dialysis?
I got no idea. There's a list this long in Kenora of people waiting to get on dialysis.
Wayne and Carol are just starting to wrap their heads around this new phase of their lives.
I think I got everything. Yeah. I walk into the window.
But Carol Davis has had her routine set.
That's my life. I'm governed by Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I was told right at the get-go that I could be in Thunder Bay for up to a year, even longer.
Carol is also from Kenora, but she's been in Thunder Bay for 9 months now to get dialysis treatment 3 times a week right here. The hospital wouldn't let us in to film Carol as she received her dialysis, but she took this video to show us the machines that she relies on removing excess waste and fluid from her kidneys. Now, in between those 3 times a week treatments, Carol tries to get home as often as she can.
I live in an apartment block in Kenora, seniors apartment block. And we have an active social committee. So that's one part of my social life. The other part, I have friends that I have known since we were in kindergarten. So this last Wednesday when I was home, the 4 of us got together and I'm surprised I've held it together this long. Right now you're seeing the effect of being down here for 9 months. That's to a woman who was very, very strong personality. I'm not that woman anymore.
And so really, it seems quite simple. What are you asking the government for?
Please get us home to our own community for treatment so we can live the life we were supposed to live.
There are a number of hospitals across northwestern Ontario, but only 4 offer dialysis, and of those, 3 are at capacity, meaning right now everyone in this region that's roughly the same size as France has to go to Thunder Bay for dialysis. It's a situation Dr. Rory Silverberg says needs to change.
It's tough when you're sick with renal failure, kidney failure, and you have to come all the way to a city where you might not have friends or family to support you. You're feeling unwell because of your illness, and then you're receiving this new treatment that often leaves you feeling pretty unwell. It's brutal. It's really brutal.
There are other expenses.
It's also really costly to move to another city for dialysis, and Carol is keeping a close eye on just how high the bills are adding up.
Here for that, so there's those expenses. Just for related things to me living here, I've paid over $17,000 on my visa to the end of December last year.
Home dialysis is one way to get people the treatment they need closer to where they live. I've been talking to Frida Cowley, who was at the hospital this morning for an intensive training so that she can move her family back to the Kenora area and get a dialysis machine in her home. I'm going to talk to her now to see how that training is going.
Hello.
Danielle? Nice to meet you, Danielle.
I was very intimidated with the home hemo because it's dealing with your own blood and like a machine being set up in your own home. I'm like, well, holy crap, what if my daughter's accidentally pulls the plug on me and there goes my blood, you know? It kind of freaked me out a bit.
For the next few weeks, Frida's family has moved to Thunder Bay for her home dialysis training.
The blue side goes into the cloud.
Come here, Danielle. Here, you read to me. Tell me a story.
It means there's lots going on in the one-bedroom apartment they've rented.
I just can't wait to go home and clean my house and yeah, I can't wait to go back to work, honestly.
There are just 70 people across all of northwestern Ontario on a home modality, according to Ontario Health.
I love that it's kidney.
I spoke to Craig Lindsay, who's with the Kidney Foundation of Canada. He says it's not an option that works for everyone.
For them, dialysis is a lifetime commitment. We have to make it easier for them. We have to make that life meaningful and worthwhile, and not making them decide, as I've seen stories all over the province of people deciding to stop dialysis. Even though it exists, they simply can't do it. So they're stopping dialysis, which in simple terms means that they're choosing to die. I don't mean to sound pessimistic, but there are a lot of streams of work going on. They just need to move faster. We're losing ground here in Ontario, certainly.
We asked for an interview with Ontario's Health Minister, Sylvia Jones, to see what she's doing to improve access to dialysis care for people in this region. We did not get a response, but in a statement from Ontario Health, they said they will be adding more stations to the hospital in Thunder Bay, and they're thinking about adding other hemodialysis stations at the hospitals in Kenora and Dryden.
I would love to see you, or we would.
So, for the time being, people like Wayne and Carol are stuck waiting for a spot to open closer to home, getting by on FaceTimes and phone calls.
Maybe one day I'll get home just for a visit. And then I have to come back.